You remember the 5-1 in one of the tournaments? Did you play that one? I wasn't playing. I had to man-mark Ronaldinho.
Jude Bellingham ever come to watch?
I'd rather listen to Berti Voghts singing a cheeky girl song. There you go.
He's just running down the wing shouting, rolling sausage and potato scone. Hello and welcome. I'm back at the warm-up this week. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more episodes. Great to be back. Gordon, who have we got on this week?
I never thought I'd say I missed you, but I have to say
Thanks,
it feels good to have you back. Episode 16 apparently, and two top guests to mark the occasion in Stiliyan Petrov and James McFadden, a return guest as well. I think there's a race on to see who gets the most return
who's
invites.
going to get the hat-trick ball first.
So it took 16 episodes to invite me, guys.
I know what's going on. I've been saying it for weeks.
Well, on one hand we try and get return guests, and the other we're building up.
That's
I understand, Fanny, but why?
That's why Sam was off. He was off in protest.
On the back though of an international break, a fairly good one for Scotland. You'd
Very
have to
good.
say happy.
Very good. Yep, happy enough. I know that ultimately you want to finish second and get that pot one, but you get 2 wins, and even getting into the game on Monday, a lot of the talk was, right, look at what's happening with Croatia and Portugal, but it didn't really matter until we done our job, so it was all about focusing on Scotland. Good results, good performance, particularly in Poland. I thought that was an excellent performance, and a wee bit of hope again and optimism getting into the World Cup campaign. Obviously we've got the play-off as well to come.
The man that you know well with your Villa connections, John McGinn.
I was just going to super John McGinn played a big part of it. Obviously, I've watched both games. Really excited. I enjoyed watching Scotland. You know, the small country. I've come from a small country, and to see the togetherness, to see the spirit, it was really good. And I think they're doing really well, especially John. You know, after he's been left out for a while from Villa, and he come for the national team, and he just got that.
Do you think he needed that? Because look at the Euros, and he looked like he wasn't the same energetic John McGinn.
Yeah,
he wasn't super John McGinn.
Yeah,
Euros,
he wasn't. But a lot of Villa fans don't see what he does for the team. He does sacrifice a lot of his game. He does a lot of hard work for the team. Villa don't play with wingers, and he sacrifices a lot of his game and what his ability he can do and what he can do in the game actually. And I feel sorry for him at some point, but when you're a captain, you have to do that. Mm-hmm. But I think at Scotland, he's been given that role to have more freedom to get in the box, and you can see what he does for Scotland when you give John McGinn a little bit more freedom, because he does have quality to score goals. That's why sometimes I just text him and say, you need more goals, man. And he goes, no, I play defensively now. But you know what? It seems like it's playing for Scotland, he's get that freedom, and he goes and really enjoy it.
How important a break was it for Steve Clarke as well? Because there was a lot of talk, wasn't there, going into the last few, that they were on a bad run, but now they've got a couple of wins.
Yeah.
Feelings are
big for him and the players, because I know the manager's the one that gets most of the flack, but the players were under a bit of pressure as well. Everybody kept going on about the run and the lack of wins within that run, but I think it was really important, the change in formation, the style. I think we have Croatia aside. Croatia are a good side. They kept the ball well and at times put us under pressure. I know Craig Gordon has an outstanding save, but it wasn't overly worked. But I think the performance levels, the fact that we've got a threat going forward, I'm sure he would still like a lot more threat going forward, as we all would. But I think it was big for him, because it shows that he's adaptable, which I was never in doubt. I think that Steve Clarke's always set the team up, as you would expect, being a good manager, to get the best out of the players you have. But I think being that bit more attacking, able to control the game, and being able to press teams and put them under pressure to get the results against good sides as well. I think it'll do him well, do the team well as well, going into the playoff and the World Cup.
I love that Andy Robertson story. 10 years on from his debut in the same stadium, he goes back for his 80th cap, scores the winning goal on the night that he moves joint with a guy well in Darren Fletcher. He's got Jim Leighton in his sights. It's good to see the cap. I know it's like results are obviously the most important thing, but it's nice to see the caps totals rising and guys making records, isn't it?
It is, and it's something before the first time we qualified for the Euros. For a long time, I used to hear a lot of players speak about number of caps and targets that they had, and it wouldn't annoy me, but I would think you've got something bigger, getting to major finals. but he's done that back to back. I'm sure that the focus for Andy will be to get to the World Cup, but it's realistic now. He's not just targeting, getting to the next one. He's want to be the all-time, appearance holder for Scotland. He looks fit. I think that they spoke about the shift in formation. I think that we're seeing, a much better version of Andy Robertson playing in his natural position as well. And to go and, I don't think many people, if you, well, I didn't have a great view because you're so high up at the stadium, many people would have thought that was, a goal that Andy Robertson would score. A bullet head at the back post.
I genuinely did think, like, who was that? And then you're trying to figure out who it is in the pitch. And did the camera sort of cut quickly to Nicky Devlin? And I'm going, it can't be the right back. So it was.
He scored a few like that for Liverpool, to be fair, though, Robertson, hasn't he? Not too many, but he does come in.
And he's not known for it, though. That's what I mean. It's
like, he was still second favourite, really, wasn't he? Even when the cross.
It's a great ball in. It's a great ball in. And that's one where if Robertson doesn't go and attack it, people are looking, this guy's in the middle, he's across it into the middle. It's a great cross, and Andy, popping up at the time we need him.
80 caps.
Late in the game as well. You're talking
that was brilliant.
Back, up staying high, and you were talking about caps, but if you want to make your mark and you want to make as most caps, you have to qualify. You have to break that record by qualifying and playing more games. It
helps, doesn't it?
Because of course, and if you want to do that, you want to make sure that you go to the big tournaments.
I think I've asked him before, so ask him how much it annoys him that he's on 48 and not getting to 50.
That's why you said about the caps just then, wasn't it? That you didn't want to hear the records.
No.
Missed out on one just.
I did, but I played 48 times for my country. It
was injuries as well, wasn't it? It wasn't really.
Injuries obviously curtailed. I was, I think, 27 when I made my last appearance for Scotland. Right. So, it doesn't bother me. Like, doesn't eat away at me. I played 48 times. I came through at Motherwell, and I honestly just wanted to play first team football. It didn't. Obviously, when you get in, then you have different targets. And sure, at one time when I was flying for Scotland, then I was absolutely looking at the goal record and looking to see how many caps I could get. But I'm quite happy.
Was there anyone you ever surpassed and you were like, oh my God, I can't believe I've just got more caps than him or more goals than? No, there was never a moment where you'd pass some old legend.
No, never.
You were on the coaching staff at the Mexico and Peru trip, weren't you? So they were giving caps out to everybody that summer, and he too short. I was just waiting on him. They were tempted to just give Alex McLeish a nudge and get the boots on.
Nah, you get what you get on merit, and you have to take what you.
Do you know what I learned this morning? You will know this, but that your 50th medal that you get for reaching 50 does exist, and it's there. Because they have to order them in advance.
You get a 25th as well.
Yeah, but you at least got that. So somewhere in a drawer at Hampden is his medal for getting 50 caps.
Do you get stuff when you get to 50 and 100? In Bulgaria, we don't get anything.
Yeah, you get Hall of Fame.
Anything.
You get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You get, a medal. I didn't know you get a medal. I think you get
in that drawer somewhere.
Painting commission.
Nice.
And 2 tickets for life, I think.
I was going to say, I thought it was for like one game there. So that's the worst gesture ever.
For life, I think.
Not as bad as you do get. I looked it up. You're on 105.
105.
Some going that. What did you get for your 100th?
I got probably just a little present and some flowers.
It was some flowers, apparently.
That was
flowers.
This is something that in Bulgaria we had so many players, good players. They've got a lot of games. We don't receive anything. We don't get anything, and this is really poor. I've mentioned a couple of times that you should award players with, playing for their country, being proud, their families watching it. But we never had anything.
The Flowers are dead within a week.
England got caps, you guys got different things.
It was like a golden cap for England. They'd have a big celebration.
We don't get anything.
No, nothing.
We don't
like
get
that.
just memories.
What does it mean to you though? Flowers aside, they're dead a long time ago, but no one's got more caps for Bulgaria than you. And that, you stepped away from international football as well. You could have even.
Well, I didn't step away with it. I never had the choice. Obviously, with the illness, I was 32. I think if I've continued, I could have probably got to 130, 140, which this is a lot of caps. It's all about, we're talking about caps and that. You have to be consistent. You have to be able to look after yourself, because all these journeys, traveling, playing for a national team, the stress, the pressure, everything, it takes a lot out of you. And you have to be able to do that, because if you're not ready, then it's very hard to achieve this. And 105, I think on those 105, I was subbed probably about 4 times. So I was always a starter, and it was really.
Do you remember number 105? Who was it against?
No.
What about Scotland? Did you ever play against
Did you not look
Scotland?
that up? No.
Never played against Scotland.
Never played against Scotland.
against
bonus.
Scotland.
Lucky for you.
Yeah, lucky for me.
5-1
I
we beat
think
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. I had a moment when I called it a day for about a couple of months. I wasn't happy with what was happening in the national team, and I think that's where Scotland. Bulgaria played Scotland. You remember the 5-1 in one of the tournaments? Did you play that one? I wasn't playing. So
It would only been
that was
3
the
if he
time.
was playing.
Was that the
Yeah,
Kieran
that
Cup?
was the
Kieran
time.
Cup,
Was that the Kieran Cup?
Kieran
we brought
Cup,
that up.
yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
they get 2. Chris Burke got 2 in his day.
I'm glad I
Yeah,
haven't
Sparky
played
was
that game. So I never played against Scotland.
It would have been what, 5-2?
5-2, yeah, probably.
At least Scotland won a trophy, didn't they?
See the current crop. It's funny. Last time you were on, I think we were talking about Ben Doak and should we get excited, and you were saying yes, we should. And well, you've been proven right.
Yeah.
So well done to you.
Absolutely.
Should we be even more excited
Aye.
than last time?
Like, of course, look, he's had to deal with probably a small bit of what's to come, but he's dealt with it. And I think that he's getting better, which is a frightening prospect. When you look at the performance levels, I think a lot of people says, oh, he needs to get better with his end product and, his final ball. But his awareness to pick out John McGinn on Monday night. He had a few really good passes. I just think, of course, look at the calibre of player that he's playing against. Look at the pressure that he won't feel it, but he's under pressure because he is, something totally different to what we have. You look at, when John McGinn's out, I know that it's hard to, replace his goals, but he went through that spell where he wasn't scoring. McTominay stepped up and scored. You've got Christie that can play there, Armstrong. They'll have similar qualities. Nobody has the qualities that Ben Doak does.
Like when he
So,
turned Gvardiol, who's what was he worth? 70 million, 60
well,
million?
that's why you need to get excited. You have to get excited. Like, we can't say, oh, let's temper it a wee bit. We've got a genuine prospect here that is going to terrify defences no matter who we play against. The speed, I think his decision making is good. The final ball will get better because he's not played a lot of football. But of course, we need to celebrate him.
I mean, when you have when you go on a national team, you've got periods when you get players come to a national team not playing for their clubs, and you need that kind of energy from younger players. That transition you need, and especially, I mean, look what you've done to Gvardiol. Quick turn, and when you have a young player like that with that speed to get you out of trouble, then you've got a real chance.
Even right at the start of the game on Monday, as soon as you got it, it was like there was somebody's job was to help the defender. He just sprinted and then he was going by them. So when you've got a player that, right, you've got a plan, it doesn't matter because he's so quick and so direct that look, he's not going to be plain sailing from him. There'll be times where maybe he's not at the levels that we're used to seeing from him, but it's such an exciting prospect that we've got a guy that he's got no fear. He can beat the world's best, and he's Scottish. Of course, we need to celebrate it.
Again, last time you said, similar in the sense that people gave you the ball at Scotland. You spoke about the fans expecting something, and you liked it. You like to kind of thrive on it. What do you make of the way that Steve Clarke's having to kind of manage it? Because I guess it's in his nature. Every time it's, well, let's not put too much pressure on, and maybe he won't start this game. And then that seems to annoy some fans because they just want everybody to be sort of singing, from the rooftops about him.
I think that Steve Clarke's doing his job. That it's his job to say there's things he can get better at, to try and keep him grounded, to try and make sure that we don't run away with expectations. People are going to do it anyway, I certainly will. But it's just because I think that's natural for a manager. It's about him, trying to take as much of the pressure off him as he can. I'm pretty sure that he'll be saying to him, be positive, go forward. My criticism would be we're not giving him it enough. I would try and give him it every single time, honestly, till he's sick, fed up with seeing the ball. That's old fashioned. Yeah. You've got a winger that you've got the beating of your defender. Just keep feeding him the ball. Keep feeding him it. But Steve Clarke's right. That's his job, to try and manage the player and manage expectation. But He'll be doing well to dampen that if he continues the form that he's shown.
Is that how you felt when you were playing for Scotland, when you were the young up-and-coming attacker? Did you always want the ball?
Always.
Did you feel like you should?
That was my job as a wide man, particularly when you played wide. It was as soon as the ball's on the way to the fullback, you obviously need to do your job, to make sure you're narrow and the defensive side. But as soon as it's on its way to his fullback, getting the touchline, and just fullback's job was open up and give it to him, and then you could go and try and get the better of your defender. But
how did that? Because obviously everybody knows the old cheeky boy tag, Berti Voghts stuff. So he didn't do the Steve Clarke thing. He didn't try and sort of dampen expectation of you, did he? He sort of went for it. Did you like that then?
I thought it was funny because I knew what he meant, and a lot of people, I used to get the old wee cheeky boy. But it was different for us because we were in a period where there wasn't a lot of optimism around the national team. So the fact that there was these two young players come in, fearless and just desperate to go and play in that stage, I thought it was. I liked it. I enjoyed the. I wouldn't say pressure. I didn't really feel loads of pressure. I just enjoyed the fact that somebody thought it was good, particularly the manager of the country. It was quite nice that the manager was happy for me. But it wasn't like I couldn't just do what I wanted. It was still hard on me, and that's the way it has to be. But I think he embraced the fact that the cheeky boy was without doubt lost in translation. But I'll take it. I think he just meant confident and right. Somebody that wants to go and do well, and I was quite bubbly and.
Comment below and tell us what German is for cheeky boy.
Cheeky boy. Ben Doak's the cheeky boy 2.0.
What did you prefer still in a manager who would sort of keep your feet in the ground, if that's the right phrase, publicly, or someone who would just wax lyrical?
This is a national team. I mean, you can't keep players' feet in the ground. Everybody who plays for the national team, when you play in front of your nation, you want to go and be the best. You want to perform. You want people talking about you, and because the nation see you how often, maybe 7-8 times a year. That's what it is, and you have to be at your best, and you want to do it your best. That's why I love the manager that demanded for you to stand up, to be counted, and to lead in the right way, to take responsibilities. And I understand Steve Clarke, maybe he's trying to ease it and just make sure that he does the right things in the right time, because he's younger, he's just coming into it, he's trying to be, the next big thing, because the way he's playing, that's what everybody's talking about. He gives us something different. But I love the manager that go and demand, and you have to demand. He's a national team.
To become,
you select the best players. The best players that you think deserve to play for the country, and what you do is you make sure that they take that responsibility.
You talk about becoming the next big thing. Do you think Middlesbrough is the perfect place to be right now? Carrick, I don't know if you guys ever came across him in your careers playing in England, but Middlesbrough, big club, on loan from Liverpool. Is this the perfect sort of level right now?
What is the perfect opportunity? It's about playing games. It's about being under pressure. And if he find a club where he suits him, and you've got the manager that can develop him, this is the best for the player. No, sometimes players talk about they can only play for that club. Yeah. It don't work for them, and they don't move away from that. They don't have to really go and develop. But what Doc done is like, it's not working for me at Liverpool. I'll go to Middlesbrough. He's playing. He's in a good form, and this is part of the development. That's what you have to do.
Some players, it doesn't matter how you plan to manage them. There's no holding them back, and this is what it looks like with Ben Doak. It looks like ideally, more so club side, you take him in and bring him out. But if he's showing form, you keep him in.
Yeah,
and I think that's what's happening with Scotland. We've got a guy that just. He's electric. He's exciting everybody. He's showing a level of maturity as well for somebody that's barely played any football, that you can't just say, right, we'll save him for maybe the last half hour in case we need him, because he makes a difference in the third minute the other night.
What's the best option then for this play-off to try and stay in there? Greece, Turkey, Austria? I've got it written down. Turkey, Ukraine, Austria, Greece.
I don't know.
Oh, much of a muchness.
I think that regardless, it's going to be tough. I would have probably leant towards Ukraine because I watched them in the Euros and they weren't great, but neither were we. So you can't use that as a barometer. So
and a bit haunted by the last playoff against Ukraine.
Aye, but I think that I'm back to the stage where I don't care. I think that it's 4 good sides. I think if we play the level we've played it, we've got a chance. And I'm confident we can get the job done no matter who it is. So I don't know. I wouldn't be saying I definitely want this team because there's an obvious reason. I think there'll be tough games, but I think we're good enough to beat whoever it is.
Have you ever vlogged Scotland away? This may need to be the next challenge for you. Where can we send you? Do you fancy?
You must be fancy everyone. There's no like Spain,
Outstanding
Portugal.
team,
You know, it's and the belief at the moment in the nation and the way team is playing, the togetherness. You must be fancy over 2 games. Definitely, you'll fancy any of them.
Second games at home, and
Second
so
ones
you've
at
got the well. It's not really an advantage anymore, but
Nice.
it feels like an advantage.
It's traditionally
It
seen as an
feels-
advantage,
aye,
isn't it, to
it
the
feels
second
like
game at
one.
home? If we draw a line under that and think domestic football, Stiliyan, what have you made of your old team, Celtic, and their dominance at the start of this season?
Obviously, I spent a week with Celtic, 1 week at their pre-season. They looked ready then. Obviously, it will be interesting to see how long they can sustain that form, because at the moment they look untouchable. I mean, if you compare the 2 games, with the league game and the cup game with Aberdeen, they felt the pressure in the first game. I think they got caught off guard. They wasn't expecting that from Aberdeen, but the second game, the cup game, they just showed. The soon they feel the pressure, Celtic just go to another gear, and they just show that
Is that
they're
different
untouchable.
as well, because you know that you can afford to no slip up, but
Yeah, because
a league game's different to a cup game.
But the soon Celtic switch on, and they need to put the performance their way above everybody else. They've started really well. The team looks really balanced. I think he's got a very strong bench as well. So the changes he made through the game don't make them weak, make them stronger. So that's a big positive for Brendan. So I think they're in a good place at the moment.
How did that come about? Because you went to America for a week, when they were on
Yes.
pre-season. So what is that, just as part of your coaching journey? You asked to go,
No,
or
I was asked to join the
brilliant.
club as a promotion for the club,
Right.
the fan base in America.
Must have been rubbish that.
Yeah,
What
it
a
was
trip.
really
It was hard work, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
So was it DC United?
uncomfortable planes and bad hotels.
Honestly.
No, it was brilliant. I mean, it was great to see the way they manage everything. I mean, the preparation for training. The training was really good. It was fascinating.
what was it you saw from them that you thought, because we see this a lot. People think like pre-season doesn't count for anything. You've seen teams have terrible pre-season and then do brilliantly, vice versa. But there seems to be a lot of emphasis from Celtic this year about the things they did in pre-season. They played high-level opponents. They played a certain way. And it does seem to have, sort of worked or made its way into the season. What was it you saw about the way that they were working?
The intensity of the training. I mean, they train the way they play, the movement at the ball, every exercise, all the partners have played, everything on pace, everything is under pressure, everything is 100 miles an hour. So when you see them on Saturday, the way they play, the way they move the ball, that's the structure of their training. That's the way they work. The details, the analysis, everything you can see through the day. Players going in for the individual meetings, for the team meetings, and you can see that there's a details that Brendan Rodgers wanted to make sure that he tick off before the start of the season. If played big teams there, you wanted to see how the team stays in defensive shape when they leave too much space, how they're gonna get hurt and how they need to react. So there's a couple of things he's tried in a different ways, and it seems like at the moment he kind of find the balance in domestically and European football as well.
Well, you're obviously part of Martin O'Neill's teams and winning domestic titles, but also doing well in Europe as well. How hard was that to sustain, and what will Celtic have to do to be able to hit those levels that you hit?
Really hard. And the biggest problem for us was not the European games. European games at the motivation, you got the excitement, the fans and everything. Is switching from a European game to a domestic game. This was the biggest problem, because
European hangovers, are they an actual thing?
More an away game, or
away game, Celtic Park, we never had problem. We always believed that Celtic Park, the side we had, the quality we had, we never had problem. But when you go the away game, it was difficult to pick up, and sometimes we'll start slow and we'll concede a goal, and we have to kick on back again. And you can see that concentration is not there, and this is something that Martin really worked on to make sure he wasn't really worried about the European games. He was worried about domestic games when we come out of that European.
I feel like the
adventure.
squad at Celtic looks so. They've got so much quality off the bench, haven't they? That I don't see them having too many issues like that throughout
Is
the
it a
season.
psychological? When you say Martin Neil works on that, what do you mean? How do you ensure?
Well, if you look at it,
challenge?
Martin mostly play with the same team. He wasn't really changing, so it was really, when you play through the season, like you play Tuesday, you play Saturday, it comes a point that it doesn't matter how fit you are, you just don't have physically a time to recover. It's more psychological. It's like how much you want it, and when you go behind 1 goal or 2 goals, is how you get back in there, because it's important to understand that you still have to win to go to European football next season, to win that league. So for him, it was very important to motivate all of us that physicality is nothing about it. It's about that mentality. Do you want it more? Do you want to go and get those results? when, especially in December, January, when it's cold and when it's windy. When we played Inverness, I remember when it was windy. And he was going, you guys have to go and battle it. I mean, you had Henrik last, and Henrik was talking about get the ball in my feet, let's play. The wind was blowing and we couldn't do it. So you have to find a solution. We were 1-0 down, 60 minutes to go, and we have to go and win the game. So you have to find a solution. You have to battle. Legs are tired. Gaffer's not making subs. You have to do something. So that the psychological side of it, where you have to really go
It's
and
natural.
get a result. Yeah,
It's natural.
Yeah.
You're playing a game, the Champions League, UEFA Cup at the time, they're big games. So naturally you are excited and ready. Then you go and play an Inverness.
You try to say a trip
Motherwell.
to Inverness is not exciting.
Like when you come in, if when you're playing for Motherwell, you're playing against Celtic that's come off the back of a European game, knowing that it's either been a good result or the players are buzzing. You know that it's a massive game for you. It's not as big a game for them. So your energy levels are automatically higher. It's just a natural thing. Then, you need to try and make them feel tired. As Stan says, mental. You are tired and you need to convince yourself and talk to yourself, I'm fine, I'll be great, and I'm going to sprint and I'm going to run about and make sure I get the first tackle. But you've got a wee guy playing against you that wants to kick you and run and no stop running.
I'll give you an example. We played Barcelona, so I had to man mark Ronaldinho. The manager said to me, "You have to man mark me."
Yeah, not be Motherwell your next.
Listen, no. It was exciting. I was man marking our pitch, just excitement. You play against Ronaldinho, Barcelona. It was really. The next game we played Hibs. I had Brownie chasing me all game and kicking me on my face, and I'm thinking, this is different. This is completely different. But you have to switch on. You have to make sure you do it, because the fans don't see that. They know that there's an issue there from European game to domestic, but they don't care. They're there to support you. They want to win. They want to make sure that when the final whistle go, you win the game. And you have to find a solution.
How did you do against Ronaldinho? That's the important question.
I thought, you know what?
How many
a couple
step-overs
months
did you
ago,
limit them
I
to?
watched it with one of my younger boy, the game, and I actually thought I'd done well. I was nowhere near him. But this is things that you have to balance, and it's really difficult. And we touched at the start. At the moment, Celtic have a very good squad. They've got a good balanced team. Now Brendan Rodgers trusts everyone that they can come and make the team better. They can play the same way with the same speed, the same style of play. They all understand what is required from them. And when you have a good balanced team, that it makes it easier for the manager.
It's a big point, that, because you says Martin O'Neill didn't change the team.
No.
And you're thinking at that point, because you know he's not going to change it, could be doing me a rest.
Yeah.
But if he rested you, you'd be absolutely fuming.
Yeah.
Like, I should be playing.
Yeah.
Why am I not playing? I'm going to see him. I should be playing. But
that-
they've got great options now to mix it up.
And that's where the good manager make the right rotation. If you look at the way Brendan does it, he only changed 2 to 3 players, no more, which is really good. So you don't really disbalance the team. You make sure that the core of the team stays there. The important, Callum McGregor, he's been rested only one game, and he knows that he needs Callum McGregor there. He's the dynamo of the team. He controls the game. He's the leader that he needs to be there. So there's a certain players that you can't just take out. There's certain players, they've got the status to.
Who's the
stay
best? Who's the best two alongside them? What's Celtic's best midfield three? If they go tomorrow,
Hatate Ingles.
Hatate and Engels,
they look-
not Bernardo.
Yeah, no. I love the boy Engels. I believe he can get more goals, but I think that will come. That will come. You've got the engine, you've got the cleverness, the football brain to get in a good position. He does help. They accommodate each other well, and you've played as well. It's really hard to find people that, especially in the middle of the park, which everything goes through the middle, everything is controlled there. So you need people that accommodate each other. And Hatate as well, I think he's been outstanding.
Same
as well.
for you.
I
same
think
for you?
it's McGregor and Hatate, Engels or Bernardo. I think Bernardo's very
Bit hard
good.
done by almost.
He is, but that's what you need. You need guys that are like.
If
when
you
make
if
the
you were
changes-
picking it tomorrow for a must win, who are you going out with those two right now? Because obviously the Engels, you're looking at maybe Bernardo's young as well, but there's a potential there and a long term deal and big price tag, all that stuff. Sort of current form.
I would go Hatate, McGregor, Hatate, and Engels.
I mean,
You
it's
can
really.
have the.
God, yeah.
I mean, for a manager,
I'm trying to get Bernardo in for no reason at all. I just
Well,
felt like
McCowan as well deserves a shout. He's not going to start, but I think as an
Well, I
option
don't
to
know
come
about
off the
that.
bench. And
I wouldn't rule that out either.
But
I just
you-
think they're ahead at the minute.
But you know, as well, it's really important, and it's great to see that all the players who don't really get the stats, they're coming in with a smile.
Mhm.
They're coming in, they're changing games, they're adding to the team. So they don't come. Sometimes we've played with players, they don't play, they don't start, just throw their arms, and they don't participate. They don't add to the team. But it seems like at the moment there's a happy camp. Everybody knows their role. There's a rotation that is going to happen through the season.
That's
Certain
a
ga-
key though.
Yeah,
Especially
you
for
have
me,
to
'Cause
manage
it used
that.
to be that when you get in the team, you were in the team.
Yeah.
Till you had an absolute shocker, then you might have got away with it and played another one. But you were in the team. Whereas now it's more of a squad
I
game.
suppose
where
even 5 subs
different
obviously changes
games,
that, doesn't
different games. It'll be Bernardo and it'll be McCowan, and
Come
I
into
wouldn't
winter as well.
discount like McCowan at the conversation. I think he's been excellent when he's
it?
been.
I
honest.
haven't convinced these two. I just
and
feel like
sometime
some
when you-
Celtic fans would maybe edge towards Bernardo right now.
Over Engels.
Maybe.
Aye.
It's just the impression I get.
I don't think you can't be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be wrong with
both
it. I
good
think it's a
players.
brilliant option.
But also you know it's important to see as well for the for the players, and you know, Brendan Rodgers, when he select the team, he select the best ones that he think
Yeah.
they're gonna win that game. They're gonna win it, and they're gonna make sure they do the right stuff. But when you see the players that are coming on and what they're adding, they're actually not just filling the gaps there, they're making that team better. And when you have that off the bench, there's a different game.
I think that is the point. I think it's your preference.
Yeah.
It's no like one's better than the other, or it's just your preference.
Who
to
was
it.
is it as simple as that? You know, the 2003. Who were you talk about complementing each other? Which midfielders over your career brought the best out in you?
Obviously Paul Lambert and Neil Lennon. I was given the license more to join the front three and to get into spaces at the right time. So having the Paul Lambert, obviously his knowledge in the game. Lenny was more, he was one the solid. The soon we lose the ball or we out of shape, he's there. He's in the right position. He looks after us. He delayed the play, make sure he gives time to go back. So I'll probably go.
How
Paul
good
Lambert.
was Lenny? Because a lot of people would
No,
say
Lenny was outstanding. Lenny was, listen, he was quality. He will never lose the ball. You know what people talking about, going forward, that his role was not to go forward. His role was to look after the ball, make sure when he dictated the tempo in his own way. People talk about he played the back and he played the wide, but he controlled the goal. He never lose the ball. He always makes sure that we stay in position when we have the ball and we find that opening and find the right person, the right player, and the right time for us to score. Especially when we don't have the ball, it was magnificent. His positioning on the field, tackling, getting the ball, and sometimes you need that little bit of aggressiveness, and he had that. You've got that aura to go and fight for us, which sometimes you don't have players like that, and Lenny was brilliant at that.
I thought you were going to say something there.
I was just,
So
well,
you were just really nodding.
I was just loving it, mate. Yeah, loving
I was
hearing about
waiting
Lenny.
for it,
Yeah.
but nothing came out.
Did they two give you not a hard time, but I'm sure they kept you right? Neil
Oh
Lennon
yeah. Listen, for me, I was the youngest at the team, in the team, and you know what? That you can't get lazy. Yeah, you have to. As much as they wanted me to bomb forward, I had to be back. The soon we lose that ball, I had to be back. And this is something that when you play in a big team, and James, you mentioned that about managers, sometimes when you play well, they don't make changes. Sometimes you can play for 6-7 months. Other players don't get a chance to play. When you play in a big team, that's the way it goes, because the team wins. The team gets result. Other people don't come in, but don't forget, on the bench was Lubo Moravcik, and he could have played anytime. So Jackie McNamara, who as well was playing holding midfielder sometime when Lennon was injured, but Lennon was hardly injured.
How hard was it at the start to get used to the amount of shouting you would have received every single day?
Really hard. And was the worst one is we had so much respect to Henrik, and I remember one game, Henrik was having an off game. It wasn't working for him. So halftime, he just pulled me in the showers, and he said, listen, I'm not playing well. I keep making those openings for you, on the space. You're too late. You're not getting there. I'm knocking the balls. I'm playing it off. You better get it. I'm off. My game is off. You have to get in there. If you don't get in there, it will be hard to score, because at the moment we're not playing well. And when you're thinking, bloody hell, I thought I'm doing well in the first half, but Henry was like, no, he was way above everyone. He sees the game differently. And this is the demands that you get. Players just demand from each other. And Lenny, if he plays the ball forward and I don't support and I'm just beside him, he says, Stan, he just go F word, just off there.
Just
off
the
there.
F word.
But when you lose the ball, he's looking where you are, and you just
You need to be
have
two
to-
places
yeah.
at once.
Yeah.
That was the demand. And when you have players like that, it makes it easier. It just makes you a better player.
See, before we look at the weekend's fixture,
Yeah.
do you think we could, because he'll never do it, he's going to appear on TV in the next couple of weeks and he'll never do it. Do you think this is the place where he will pick who he wants to win out of Celtic and Villa? Do you think we can
don't
make him
He has
choose?
to.
Oh,
Sit on
I
the fence.
can't, guys.
2-2 draw.
Guys, you can. I'm in a different position than any other players. I mean,
Oh, the fence.
yeah,
It's
no,
getting
it's not.
sat
It's
on.
not an offence. I'll just explain why. I mean, I came to Celtic when I was a young boy. I grew up. I became a man. I left the club. My situation is different. I went to a great club at Villa. I had a great support, and obviously with my illness, with the support, you can't choose. This is a completely different. This
You've
is a
made me feel
completely.
bad now.
To be fair-
What about this? 2-2, both teams going through.
Yeah, well, to be fair, by then it's the last game, isn't it? So
Yeah.
they're both probably
John
going
McGinn
straight
doubled
through.
as well.
It could come down to the winner goes top 8. Though.
Yeah, straight through. Oof.
Why you have to choose sides? Why you have to choose
Because a draw is
sides?
no good for anybody.
Listen, a draw puts them both in the
A
top
draw
8,
means both of them end up in the playoff.
Yeah.
But a win for either means one of them goes top 8.
Oof.
No, why? They'll be happy with the playoff.
They were
Listen,
both tip
it's,
players.
it's nice to have two clubs that are really close to your heart and specialty. It's like James with Motherwell and St Johnstone. That's the way to look at
Will you
it.
pick? Which one will you pick?
Motherwell.
Oh,
Over anybody.
It's time for the Rondo.
The Rondo, yeah,
and I
let's
think
do it.
you're actually getting put back in the box. Sometimes when people come for a second appearance, they get let off. I don't know why. It wasn't my decision.
All right.
Apparently you're back in.
Done so well.
So let's.
I try to catch me out.
I don't know. Let's do it. The Rondo. Quick. I say quick fire. They never are, but let's
They
do it.
never
The current SPFL player you would love to play with.
Callum McGregor.
Someone else said that as well.
Charlie Mulgrew said it.
Yeah,
Even though he'd
but
already
Charlie
played
said
with
it, even though he has played with Callum McGregor. Just
I just
quickly
think
why?
he's how he plays the game. I think that his intelligence. I'll go with Callum McGregor. I should really say Lennon Miller, shouldn't I?
yes, you should. Berti Voghts, cheeky boy, or pop stars, cheeky girls.
What?
I don't know. Which
What
would you
about
prefer? Would you rather listen to Berti Voghts calling you a cheeky boy on repeat for 3 minutes, or listen to one of their
Berti
songs
Voghts all day long.
all day long?
I'd rather listen to Berti Voghts singing a cheeky girl song. There you go.
Do not mention Berti Voghts in gold hot pants, or this show will get shut down.
You said hot
forever.
pants. I said
could see that
singing,
glint
no
in your eye,
dancing.
though. I could see it.
It's gonna get cancelled.
Best player you've played with?
Oh. Wayne Rooney.
I knew it
I
had to
was
be.
going to say.
It had to be.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a great answer.
Yeah.
You're dropping
It
names
really
now.
is. He is. That is huge.
You've dropped a Ronaldinho earlier, and I was
Aye.
dropping a Rooney.
Oh, that's incredible. You watching Mrs. Rooney and
No, I
I'm a
don't watch
Celebrity? You don't?
No.
Look at the disdain. He's not interested.
No.
I used to watch it, but
Fine.
I've no
Listen,
time.
I'm not judging.
Would you go if you ever?
Are you up to 9 o'clock
Absolutely
at
not.
night?
No,
no,
and get the call up.
I'd love
No.
to see you there.
no, absolutely not.
Father, you'll be
Couldn't
good
do
at
it.
it.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
What would be the worst?
Were you scared of snakes and
Eh,
stuff?
I'm claustrophobic, so anything where you're tight space, no.
Snakes,
Couldn't
not
do
having that. That's nonsense. See
And
people that like snakes have a word.
It's a good experience.
Manager or media? So you've dipped your toe in the coaching stuff. You're now the media man everywhere. Would you prefer?
Would I prefer? Right now, media.
Tempted to go back? Not really.
I don't know.
It's too late back, this guy.
When I started,
Loves doing stuff like this.
when I started the coaching and then a bit of media, I was really keen to become a manager. But the longer it's gone, I'm quite happy doing what I'm doing. But you never say never.
The pressures of managing.
And this is the most important one. Forget all that Wayne Rooney and all that nonsense. A nod to the previous family business. What's your Da Vinci's chippy order?
When I'm sober or drunk.
You can decide. Let's go drunk.
Drunk, it'd be, this got to be disgusting. Sausage supper, cheese and gravy, hunters of vinegar.
Yeah, I'm not against that, to be fair.
I'm quite
Cheese
against
and
that.
gravy.
Sausage supper, cheese and gravy.
I used to go curry sauce and cheese back in the day.
So did you ever-
But
so
the
Fabi's
steak
family
pie,
used to have
I have to go steak pie for Da Vinci's.
There we go.
Tremendous.
Is that when you're sober, yeah?
Aye. I would take it when I was drunk. I just don't know if they do it when it's 3 in the morning.
Right, you're on.
Right then, so first up, let's go for best goal of your career.
Against Derby County, halfway line. I got Roy Carr was in goal. He got chipped from me, and he got chipped at the Masters as well.
Well,
So he seems like he never stays in
He
goal.
got done by Pedro Mendes as well, didn't he? But
yeah.
the
So
goal, the goal of the
Derby
league.
County.
Yeah. Okay,
Derby County.
nice. Everyone go and search out that goal. Stoichkov or Berbatov?
Oh,
Bloody
bloody
That's a
hell.
big question.
Best goal, best player. What's your order at the chippy? What, cheeky
Yeah.
boy,
Listen,
cheeky girls.
You've been
done.
on.
Yeah.
You've been on before. We were struggling. You've already
Buy you a
done
bit of
this.
time here, Stan.
I'll tell you what, Berbatov.
There was no one really
Berbatov.
like him, was there? The way he
Berbatov.
played.
Shockwaves
I'll
across
ta-
Bulgaria right
I'll
now.
pick Berbatov because
He's your
most
mate.
of my he's my mate as well, but he's better looking. He had incredible touch.
Aura he had.
It's
as
a
well.
great. It's
he was
a
a-
very tough choice.
nice
It's
goal,
really
man.
tough.
Unbelievable player.
With Stoichkov, I only managed to play at the end of his career.
Yeah.
He was my manager as well. But what I've seen from Berbatov, the way he was moving on a pitch, well, he wasn't moving that fast, but his touches, understanding of the game, I mean, I'll pick Berbatov.
I'm looking forward to you reading out this next one. This
Yeah,
is
this
the
is-
longest Rondo question ever.
That's why I went for the other two first, just
Yeah.
to ease myself in.
Go.
So, where does the Central Warwickshire Over 35s Premier Division 1 Cup with Wickle
Witcher
Wanderers, I did it right there. Where does that rank in your achievements?
Top, I'll say.
Number one.
And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because I started playing vets football after I finished my treatment. I was 125 kilos. I could hardly move. I would triple extra large shorts and t-shirt.
25 kilos.
125 kilos, guys. So for me to be able to kick the ball again, to be able to
amazing.
move, to be out with the boys, it was incredible. I've played for Wicho for 3 years. We got promotion first year, then we won the league the next 2 years. We won the treble one of the years. So it was really, really,
Just wins
really,
trophies
really,
everywhere you go.
really good. And people talking about why are you doing it? Because I never knew if I could play football again, if I could be able to move, kick a ball, and I was given the
special.
chance to do it. So
Did you get
for
fans
years-
coming down to support? So must be some Villa
we
fans coming across.
had a lot of chance. The best thing was having a beer afterwards.
Yeah, nice.
To be honest,
who else is on your team?
we had Mike Taylor. Mike Taylor's in goal.
He could qualify for the over 60s.
yeah. Mike Taylor. We had Jude Bellingham's dad, Mark.
Oh yeah.
Probably
He played as well. Yeah.
He probably scored the most goals over 35.
Some
so
team, to be fair.
we had quite a few, and it was really good. It was great.
Nice.
A bunch of
Well,
boys.
he done well to win it with having Mike in goals.
Yeah. Well, he never dived. He said it was
No, I know.
always too cold, always too wet.
You
It
would have
was
played
too
with him at
hard.
Birmingham.
So
I thought they Mike at
Yeah,
Birmingham.
yeah.
man.
Jude Bellingham ever come to watch?
you know
As a
what, Jude and Jobe, it was incredible. Mark, the dad, he used to bring him every Sunday. They'll do the warm up with us. They'll do the warm up with the goalkeeper, passing, crossing, snow, rain, wind. They were always there. They were always there.
Quality. Love that.
Jude
Always
Bellingham
there.
learned his craft
From
from
Stiliyan
Stiliyan
Petrov.
Petrov.
Well, I'm not sure if he learned his craft, but he was always
Few
there.
little bits and bobs.
Mark was really demanding from them to be there, to understand, to love football every Sunday. They were there everywhere. They were everywhere, which was great to see.
Love to hear that. And so there's a bit of a backstory with this one.
Yeah.
What was your burger van speciality? Now we heard this from, it was Martin O'Neill.
Don't blame us. Martin O'Neill said
Martin O'Neill,
you
He said it on air once.
Yeah.
went to the burger van. So you tell the story. To learn English?
To learn English, yeah, obviously. I became a friend with one of the security guys, and he had a burger van. So obviously he found out that I don't speak English. Not funny. It was a great experience. I'll have a double burger with some fried onion, ketchup and mayo. That was brilliant. Always at the end, just take it away.
Martin O'Neill said that you went to learn English, but then you put on too much weight.
Yeah.
Because you were eating out the burger van.
I'm big. I'm a big boy. I've got big ass and big legs, and you always would go in here. Just had that.
So did you go for the burger and use it as an excuse that you were learning English?
No, listen, it was a great experience about understanding and listening to different orders. I heard some different
He's just
orders
running
and
down the wing
replies and
rolling
that.
sausage and potato scone.
With that, I've taken some burgers away at home.
Where
as
was
well.
this burger van?
There was in different places.
Oh, moved.
Different
Chasing
places.
it
So after
It's
training,
incredible.
after
it's
training,
amazing.
I'll go and I'll sit around. And
Brilliant.
Didn't
It was
Martin say
good.
that the burger van
It was good.
man started speaking
Still love
Bulgarian?
Iron Brew. That's where I've
So you love
learned
Iron
to-
Brew
to-
because of that?
Yeah.
Superb.
Love
And
that.
the last one, we
Great.
like this one.
Finally, this is what we ask everyone. Biggest name in your phone book?
I have a lot. Probably I'll go Kaka.
Oh, we've not had
Ooh,
Kaka
that
before.
I mean,
That's
with no
a nice
disrespect,
one. I like
I was getting. You're not allowed to say this in Scottish football, but purely for the context of this, I was getting fed up with Sir Alex because all the managers who
Kaka.
came on had
Too
his
many,
number, so
yeah.
that's new.
Kaka.
I like
Too
that.
many people come up and say Sir Alex, but yeah, Kaka's a good one. What was your? Did we ask you? Would have
What-
been Sir Alex.
What a man. What a man.
McGinn, maybe for you. I can't remember what it was now. But Kaka, wow.
Love it. Let's take a
Yeah.
look. Rangers and Dundee United. It never truly goes quiet. James, Rangers
No.
were obviously on the field trying to find their feet, but during the break, Nils Koppen's gone from sort of head of recruitment to sporting director.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to take more than off-field appointments, but is that a sign of just trying to tidy a few things up and get the full
Maybe.
club pulling in the right direction?
I would suspect that he's been doing that anyway.
Right.
I think that because the positions that Rangers actually need to fill in, in the boardroom and running the football side of the club would probably suggest that he's been doing a mixed role anyway. So maybe, he's either went to the club and says, I'm doing a job that isn't really within my remit, and they've said, well, we'll make it your remit and you can oversee it. But I think at the minute for Rangers, it's everybody needs to just, chip in with, making sure the club's as stable as possible to allow for, the manager to go to his job and try and get results on the pitch and performances on the pitch. So I think it's more a case of just filling the roles at the minute. But there's issues there that need to be addressed. They need to get the right people in.
Don't give it all away. You going to a Premiership game this weekend, or are you going down?
Going a bit further afield.
Right, you can
Yep.
surprise us when we get to that. James, I'm sure, will keep an eye on Dingwall. Motherwell going well, trying to really push on at the top up there against Ross County, who are toiling a bit, you have to say. St Johnstone, James's other former club, as we mentioned, hosting Kilmarnock. Interesting to see Aberdeen, because everyone's always looking. Can you keep
St Mirren as well? They need the points.
can you
don't
keep
they?
that up? Everyone's just waiting on it. It feels
Yeah.
like, but they don't show any signs of slowing down.
Dundee Hibs.
Talk to me about David Gray, Dundee and Hibs. They used to call it the dreaded vote of confidence, didn't they? When a club came out and said, "We're backing the manager." That's what Hibs have done. How long does that last?
Or it might be that he gets 2 games. It might be that he gets a run to 4 or 5 games. We don't know. We'll only find out if in 2 games' time he's still not won a game and he's at the door. Then you'd say it's a dreaded vote of confidence. But I think it's just to stop the speculation there and then to say he's not leaving right now. But I would say that the manager is David Gray's well aware of the fact that they need to start winning games.
Saturday night, would you like that? Stiliyan, I think the fans will like that. A wee day out in Edinburgh, 7:45 in the capital at night. Is that a good place to go? Everyone always says it. What are your favourite
No.
memories? No?
Very uncomfortable place to go.
Oh, I suppose
really
good
tough.
in that sense,
Really
yeah.
tough. Celtic always find it difficult to play against Hearts. It's just the stadium, the atmosphere. But I'm sure the Celtic know what to expect. I think they'll be ready. It's so important to see now after the international duty to see who the players coming back, when they come back, because some may come back on, today. Well, most of them will come today. Will come today. So he just assesses the players. But now Brendan Rodgers, he does have the options. I think he's quite comfortable and confident with his team, and I don't think he worries about international at the moment. Maybe a few, especially with Callum now being fresher, being there.
Still hurts, Stan. Still hurts.
Yeah, it hurts. It does hurt.
But
he does hurt. But it's a great option to have Callum McGregor fresh, recharging the battery, be ready and be there and leading the team in the right way.
And Hearts have now confirmed their deal with the analytics gurus, Tony. So there we go.
The supercomputer will be back out.
Just 2 days on, they play completely different. The computer's
just turned around. Yeah,
we're just being cynical.
Very cynical.
It does sound good though.
Cynical.
Listen, how could you not, based on what it's done at the previous clubs?
It works.
We've got Friday night football in the Championship. Queen's Park against Falkirk. Are you championshipping it up? No,
possibly. I don't want to say too much. Maybe.
Keeping us his teasing.
Definitely going. It's Friday night.
It's Friday night. We'll see.
But
obviously, Falkirk, the big result from last weekend, losing at Livy.
Yeah.
You've watched a lot of Championship football this season. What did you make of that result?
I mean, not really surprising. Livy have kind of not a lot of people have been talking about Livy for winning the league. I think it's been, at the start of the season anyway, Falkirk there. So I'm not really surprised because Davy Martindale is a manager and that they're going to make games tough. So no, I think Falkirk, I've not seen Livingston yet, but Falkirk have been the best team I've seen.
Even when they went down, Livy, talk about Martindale, it didn't seem like the fans or the club were even, when a relegation happens, there's always sack the manager and all this. It never really came to fruition. It was all quite.
Himself, though.
Yeah, that's true. He's obviously more than just a manager.
David made sure there was no noises like that. But no, I think that, and it's good to see because often we see clubs get to a level through the manager, and then there's a dip, and they go, right, well, it doesn't really matter how well we've done. See you later, we'll get somebody else to do it. He's proven he can do it, so they'll be challenging, no doubt about it. But still fancy Falkirk.
They've got Airdrie who are bottom as well.
Yeah, Airdrie are
struggling,
really struggling, and this again
the longest winless run in the entire SPFL, I think.
It's a good stat.
Scott Brown not invited you down to Somerset yet, Stan?
No, not yet. No, wait. I went to watch Hamilton a couple of times. I haven't been to see Brownie yet. He's pulled off the Masters as well.
He's not talking to him.
I'm not talking to him.
Because he wasn't in the Masters, so you had to do all the running that he was meant to do.
Well, I'm not sure if I was doing all the running. But you should have been there doing the running.
He just thought that he was going to get a nice easy one. I'll just go forward, Brunel will do all the running.
And he wasn't there. League One, Sam.
Tightest league in the SPFL as well.
Yeah, but I know, we've been speaking about Inverness now, Dumbarton
as well.
Administration and really difficult situation going there, and you just wonder, James, or look at that against one of your other former clubs. How have we managed that in Queen of the South? Now picking up a couple of wins, and if you can defy the points deduction, that's an incredible achievement. And the teams above will be getting nervous now.
I'm not. I'm not sure. I think that
I suppose Dumbarton situation.
The Dumbarton situation changes it slightly.
So Inverness was 7th when they got the deduction, so they weren't. Already sort of. In
but I think that. Dumbarton are now in a similar position to Inverness, and that they need to galvanise and they need to use anything they can to fight against everybody. Inverness obviously still have to do it, but they're not looking ahead of them as much as what they were because of that points deduction. But they've hit a bit of form, back-to-back wins at the first time for a while. So it'd be interesting because once you try and build up that feeling, the momentum, you can carry a great way, and the closer they get to the teams above them, then they will start to get nervous.
And of course, last but not least, League Two. Take a quick look there at Bonnyrigg Rose. They have their points deduction. I can see it now. You
shaking your head there, James.
You out with a measuring the angle of every pitch.
I was thinking
in Scotland. That has got your YouTube channel written.
It does
all over.
You ever played in a few bumpy pitches or slope pitches in Scotland?
I played at Far Park every week.
Jim Weir's back at Forfar as well.
Yeah,
you're saying new old manager against Peterhead. So looking forward to all this weekend. Fantasy football.
We've not spoken about this for a while.
Not spoken about it in a while for good reason.
For you, yeah.
You're
I'm doing right.
Let's start at the bottom. We wouldn't usually do that. The Paul McWinners are lagging behind you now.
Almost
Yeah,
90 points in it. Look, that's almost unassailable now.
I don't know what the secret is. However, we have to give a mention to Easy the Peasy, the only player in the warm-up league over 1,000 points. Absolutely scushing it.
Love that. Yeah, it must be changed.
Is that your name, North AFC?
That's mine. Yeah, just
Dreadful.
Picked it on the fly.
It's not much better than mine, to be fair.
You're doing well, huh?
What would you give me? That's all right. I'll take that. Yeah, 16th.
You're doing well on points, but come up with something.
Mikey Johnson's uncle is in there in second place as well. So fair play to those of you who are putting us to shame, I have to say. Let's take a look. Have you noticed there's been a bit of old-transfer activity?
Yeah, there has been.
The ins and outs.
Here we go.
Nicky Devlin, he's now getting Scotland recognition. He's the top pick.
He's the top pick, yeah.
But listen, deserved. You never at Motherwell with him, were you?
Aye, he was
Oh, you
there.
were?
Aye.
Second spell.
Second spell.
He's flying, isn't he? And he's in there. Nicholas Kuhn, hard to look back. He's
Kuhn,
been
yeah.
mentioned name dropped by the German manager
yeah.
this week. It's always
Nice.
a good sign. Lennon
For
Miller
the fantasy managers as well. That's a good shout.
asked to go back and play for the 19s this week,
Yeah.
just to keep up his performances for fantasy football, I think. And John Suter, how can we forget that ball in for Andy Robertson the
course.
other night? So those are the top players brought in. What
But it's
about
weird
the top-
because Miller's in
So
most
Lennon-
brought in and
so
most
Lennon
dropped
Miller's
as
the
well.
third most brought in and the third
Most dropped. Yeah. So some people really believe in him and some people don't. It's
Don't
weird.
know how
yeah.
that works.
Maybe he's got a
Sam
tough run of
Dalby
fixtures, I'm not
dropped.
sure.
Is that because they're playing Rangers? Is that the way people think of these
Well,
things?
Cherney and Barami dropped as well.
You know, Brahmi scored an international duty as well.
McGrath dropped. Really
So
having
there
a
we
good
go.
season.
Well,
yeah.
listen, hopefully, I think the Paul McWinners need to make up some.
Yeah,
some
and I'll
ground
change my
this
name.
week.
Nah,
Can you do that mid-season? Can you
I
change your
don't
name?
know. We'll chat.
I just thought you
Surely we
know,
can get some sway with the
a
SPF.
man, you know,
Your creative.
Aye, going
Okay.
juices.
Okay. A huge thanks for watching. Please make sure you subscribe and hit the like button so you don't miss any more content. And we'll see you soon.
We will indeed. Thanks to top guests. I'm sure you'll agree. Stiliyan Petrov, James McFadden, back. Never know, might see him again. But thanks for watching. See you next time.